There you go. Welcome back to Drums Radio Live on the beat. I keep saying this on Drums Radio Live. It's not the radio station I'm on. It's this radio station that I'm dealing with today, which is, sorry guys, sorry the Drums Radio team out there. Welcome to the Drums Radio Live, another session here. And today we are joined by two awesome individuals that make up a dynamic duo. When you say Batman and Robin, these two are probably, no, I'm not going to say, I'm going to say two of the finest team members of the Avengers that are on at the same team. If you were going to make an Avengers team, these two you definitely want to be in your team. They're called Jozi Knights together. They are Primrose and B Diane. I'm joined by both of them, and I'm going to find out which one's in which country and which one's in the other country, because, you know, they do this global thing. So we're going to find out all about that as well. Joining me, hello, ladies. Thank you for joining me today. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hello. Hello. Thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining me. Okay, let's begin like this, because I need to know, because you're currently both on the other side of the world, correct? Let's start with B Diane. Where are you currently in the world?
I am actually in Gaborone right now, which is located in a country called Botswana, which is on top of South Africa. So I'm all the way, almost all the way down in Botswana. I mean, in Africa.
Below the equator, as I like to say.
Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. And yourself, Primrose, where are you?
I'm in Stockholm, Sweden. So I'm in the cold.
Okay. But B Diane, are you regularly in Stockholm as well? Is that how you...
Well, I grew up in Sweden, and that's when I met Primrose. So after Sweden, I relocated to Norway, and from Norway, I relocated back to Gaborone. So I would say that I commute, but now that it's Corona, I've been here for a year. So this is both my home. So I'm based here and in Norway.
Okay, so you tend to collect a lot of travel miles, air miles, definitely.
Yeah, so I believe that most of the time before pre-COVID, we would meet up, we would play at festivals. I would travel frequently to Stockholm, because if I am in Norway, traveling in Europe is not really a hassle, it's not difficult. So then we'll be able to do gigs together in Europe, but also in Africa, of course. We've played everywhere. We've traveled a lot together.
Yeah, definitely. Primrose, so you're originally born and bred in Norway, sorry, not
in
Sweden.
Exactly, in Sweden, in Stockholm, Sweden.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was born and raised here, but my mother is from Namibia.
Okay.
So yeah, so we go there every year, and so we're traveling back and forth. So yeah, so I tend to go there as often as I can, but now I haven't been there since over a year, a little over a year.
Yeah, the COVID thing's really affected a lot of people, definitely. All of us, as you might say. So I mean,
yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your musical. So when did you find yourselves getting into music as children?
As children.
Yeah, let's start with Primrose. Let's go with Primrose first.
So as a child, so I would say, like, growing up as an only child, music was my sibling, my second half, my other best friend at home. Yeah. We'd be at MTV like often, all the time. So I grew up in front of that, and just listening to like old sounds, going back to Namibia, listening to music there. So it's been a part of me since early on. I've taken like a couple of singing lessons here and there, dance lessons. I've always been connected to music in a way when I was younger too. But yeah, but it started early on. It's always been with me.
Okay, B Diane?
Yeah, I would say almost, not pretty much the same, but I grew up in Botswana. So growing up here, I believe during the times I had a uncle that's late today, but he would always introduce me to Kwaito, which was very popular at the time during the 90s. It's South African. He would play a lot of house music from Chicago. He would play even hip hop. So it started very early, but I'd say that the Kwaito was kind of the first thing that really made me the person I am today. Quite 100%. It was so big here. It was everything. Yeah.
So you definitely were introduced very early to the sound of Afrohouse, as you might say.
yes.
When did you discover Afrohouse, Primrose?
Back in the, I'll say like the mid 2000s. I remember I came to Namibia for a New Year's Eve, or during Christmas and New Year's Eve when I was 16 or 17. And then I remember there was a lot of parties. It's December. There's a lot of parties during that time. And then I remember at this house party, I stole full bears the story also, but I stole like a CD, because when everyone is drunk and you're like, I will never forget, or I'll never remember that song or what was on it. So I stole like someone had burnt like a CD. Free everything. So just like a burnt CD. So I remember stealing that, thinking like, I'll give it back tomorrow. They're too drunk to even remember. But then I copied it to my computer at the time and told the guy, and he was actually from South Africa. His name was Bonga, I remember. And he was like, oh, you could have just taken it, it's fine. Like, you can take the CD or whatever. So I remember it has like 10 tracks. So that was my introduction to it. But at the time, it was only like track 1, track 2. So it didn't even like match the artist, whatever. And then on my 18th birthday, I was just singing the songs. I was just vibing to it. And then on my 18th birthday, 2006, I got from another like family friend who's South African Namibian. He gave me like also a burnt CDs or like collections of like different house songs. So I remember that was like awakening. I'm like, okay. And every time coming back to Namibia, obviously, and then YouTube, everything started growing. You could find the music yourself, and so that's when the love for it grew. And then obviously with the worldwide connection of Facebook, everything, it was easier to find also. And definitely then.
Okay, so Badine, so B Diane, so I could keep going to. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's my nickname. That was so cute. BD, yeah.
B Diane, tell us a little bit about your first kind of like venture. So you've heard the music going to. When did you start wanting to play and express it to other people?
Wow, I just actually wanted to add something when Primos was talking. I believe that the CDs that were burned at the time, there was something called soul candy in South Africa, and they used to burn like collections. You know how you'd have like top 90s hits, but then they would have like top house hits, and then you'd have like everything from Cuba to Liquid Deep, they would put all I think, because I remember that Primos played, you told me about one of the CDs, and one of the songs I remember hearing from the collections. But anyways, back to the question. Just repeat the question again.
The question was, when did you first start playing or expressing Afrohouse and trying to make other people get involved or listening to it?
It was in 2009. I had traveled between Oslo and Botswana and South Africa a couple of times, and I believe I was just fascinated over how it went from Kwaito and it just developed into something else. And at the time, I actually, because a friend of mine taught me how to DJ, and he played vinyls, and he was very into disco and funk. I remember trying to get into that vibe, but I just felt that no, I needed to play the music from my place, because it's a feeling. Like when you come to the south of Africa, they play house music everywhere. I mean, you go to the supermarket, you go to a vendor that's selling vegetables on the streets, she'll have a little speaker and she'll be playing house. And I wanted to bring that feeling. I just wanted to kind of give people that experience. So
these minibus trips.
The even going to the villages, you always hear house music, and the radio presenters will always be such a vibe. But I remember then I had a friend, he actually he invited me to play for him at a club called Fiskevilt in Oslo. And I believe that's when it started, because I just saw that, wow, people actually love it. Like, it's so funky. Like, it's what is there not to love about Afrohouse?
Yeah, definitely.
Love it. Yeah, I believe 2009.
Okay, it's really strange you say that, because I've only experienced that in South Africa. When I went to South Africa, the music being played everywhere. I'd heard before I'd gone that was the case in Southern Africa, but hearing that it's happening in Namibia and happening in Botswana as well, it's kind of I'm like, wow, okay. I know in Angola you get the Kuduro side of Afrohouse, the sort of faster house side of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So when I was in Luanda, I experienced that as well. But I did not know that Botswana and Namibia kind of had the same kind of referencing and sort of culture as well in it.
It's all that. I think South Africa sort of stemmed from that bubblegum pop, you know, everything with Kwaito, everything followed to, especially Namibia and Botswana. I don't know about Zambia and Zimbabwe in the same sense, or the other neighboring countries, but I definitely, yeah, from just talking to my experiences, barrels, yeah, definitely.
I have a feeling in Zimbabwe it's the same as what I've been told as well. Sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was about to say that in Zim it's definitely the same. I always say, you know, we're brothers and sisters. It's just, you know, it's the culture is very similar. The music is very, very similar, and we are very, very, I would say Botswana, a lot of things here are inspired by things that are happening in South Africa, because South Africa is a bigger country. They have access to, you know, more, I believe, you know, it's more international. So the music has definitely been inspired by South Africa, and we listen to South African music. Same in Namibia.
Definitely. And we are like, you know, Namibia only has 2 million people. Botswana has 1 point. I mean, yeah. So like looking up South Africa's, it's just like a big comparison. So obviously, yeah.
Like the population of Hackney, probably.
Yeah, exactly. We have the population of Stockholm. So it's like,
it's basically that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, I actually also wanted to add that because you asked us how we kind of, you know, how we travel. And so I believe that our countries also connected us, like the music, like how we actually got to know each other through MySpace.
Wow.
Yeah. Should I tell that story?
Yeah, because I was going to ask it anyway. So that's perfect timing. Hey, how did you meet?
We had MySpace. I had MySpace, and for the longest time, I moved to Sweden around the age of 11, and I didn't really have a lot of friends from South Africa. Actually, I didn't have any friends from the south of Africa. I had mostly West African friends and East African friends. So when I moved to Stockholm, I remember just posting a Kwaito song on my MySpace, because you could post a track on your MySpace. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sound a bit young, yeah? I remember, yeah. I'm old enough.
Well, we are old enough as well. So I posted a Kwaito track there. And then I remember I got a message from a girl, and that was Primrose.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them what you wrote? Do you remember what you wrote, Primrose?
I don't remember exactly what I wrote. What did I write? No, I don't remember exactly what did I write.
She just asked, like, "Hi, are you from the south of Africa? Like, I just saw your song."
Oh, cute.
And I'm like, "Yes, oh my God, I'm from the south." And that's when it started. I found
that's how we got.
What was the song? What was the song that you posted?
Well, I think it was a song with TKZ. It was definitely like
it could be a Kwaito, one of the classics. That whatever it's called.
Oh no! Or was it Boom Shaka?
One of them, one of them.
Yeah, because there was a very popular group called Boom Shaka from South Africa during the 90s. It might have been them or TKZ. I think it was TKZ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello December, yeah.
That one.
Okay, awesome.
So that's basically how it started. And then obviously Beryl came to Stockholm, and she just moved or was on her way to move, whatever. And then we met up, hung out with a mutual friend, got to know each other. And then by the time it was just like, she was based in Oslo. After a while, just traveled back and forth to see each other. And
Okay, so when did you start deciding that, hey, we should maybe do a DJ set together? Did that happen in a conversation, or did that happen already for when you first met?
I gotta add it to that. Seeing my girl in Oslo playing that music so early on was also a big inspiration, because I kind of felt, I started DJing now in 2011-ish, 11-ish, yeah. But I was playing like mostly like R&B, hip hop, like all types of music, even like the old classics, disco, 70s, 90s, 80s, whatever. But seeing Beryl playing that music, and I can say at that time, we spoke about this before also, Oslo was very inviting to like subgenres of the world. I thought like Stockholm was a bit too pretentious. I was also a bit too like, oh, Stockholm's not gonna vibe to Afrohouse or this type of, this type of sound. Eventually. But I mean, with time, I think we started playing together. Beryl started the concept of Jozi nights. She can tell that story later on. But a couple of years passed, and then I think by 2015.
Was this Cape Town or after Cape Town?
It was before, maybe it was before Cape Town. Yeah, maybe 2015. Yeah, like we started like, let's do this together. But Beryl had already started this little concept in Oslo, obviously. Yeah.
Okay, B Diane, aka Beryl.
Oh, sorry, B Diane. Also, B Diane.
You can call me Beryl. Yeah, you can call me Beryl. It's just on writing. I prefer B Diane.
B Diane, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Tell us about that story.
Yeah, because I remember that before I started DJing, I mean, I believe that Stockholm was more of a hip hop city. It was more hip hop, dance hall. Oslo, I felt, was very electronic. It's a very electronic city, and they would book really, really underground, cool artists. Because I remember they booked this, there's a group called Buraka Som Sistema. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're from Portugal. So that's also how I kind of like got into it, because they came to Oslo and then I went to Portugal to see them. And I believe after that, I was just sold. I wanted to play Afro house. Like, it was so inspiring. They are more into Kuduro, but you know, I also got now introduced to a whole different scene, which was Angolan house, DJ Satellite, oh my God, DJs Namibia, and DJ Afrozilla before he was Jeff. Yeah. So I just discovered like all those people in that whole scene. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. So in 2000, this was in 2010, I believe, I went to Portugal and discovered that. 2011, my brother-in-law asked me after a trip to South Africa, he was like, don't you want to start something? Like, you could actually just have like a concept where you actually like introduce, where you actually name it something. And I was like, yeah, no, I've been thinking about it. And he was like, yeah, but I mean, Jozi Nights, why not? And I was like, that's actually cool. And that's how it started. And I invited Primrose to join because it felt right. Yeah.
And we're glad you did.
Yeah.
So am I.
Okay, so tell us about your first gig, because the nerves must have been really there when you first got together. Did you practice beforehand, or did you just turn up and go, right, let's throw ourselves together and try and do this?
Which was our first gig? I can't even remember.
Wasn't our first gig the one where we had Maggie on?
It's true, the one. Yeah, exactly. That was
so bad.
It was, yeah. It's true. Yeah, we had another friend who was joining at the time, was joining us. It was true during that summer, and then maybe that. But I think our own gig was probably the one at Marie Levoa. Remember that one, the winter time?
Oh yeah, or was it Marie Levoa?
I think so. It was in Stockholm.
When I say that the one at with Oslo and with Maggie was bad, it was just because I believe it was like literally a Travis Scott type of crowd.
Oh yeah.
And they were
people have to know what to expect.
You know, Lil Durk and Lil what, and we are there like with this Afro house, and that was a bit of a shock. But Marie Levoa was kind of like our first. That was such a success in Stockholm. That was so nice.
Yeah, that was so nice. I mean, we since we known each other, like, but that was also after Cape Town. No, we had we played a couple of spots together, but as like a Jozi Nights club type of vibe. Yeah. No, but everything in sync. We've known each other, so it was more of like just adding our elements to it. It just worked out perfectly. And I think I was so happy just to be like Stockholm. People, you know, they're also feeding off this. They need this energy. Sound. Yeah, definitely.
So tell us what for those of us who've never been to Stockholm, myself included, what's it like to be in a club night in Stockholm or Oslo? What's it like as in the Afrohouse scene?
Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID. I gotta give up to the people. Like, we've only been introduced to a lot of people in the dancing world, a lot of people who dance to Pansula or like, you know, so really catch a vibe from the audience as well. Like, they just them off of this. I think it's what they've been missing. And people in our countries love to party, love to drink, love to, it doesn't matter if it's like -20, it doesn't matter. So
sorry.
obviously,
Can we put a pause here? Did you say -20?
yeah, it can get to -20. Yes, people don't care. Winter time, they don't care. So that can, we can bring in the heat. So obviously, now I would say people are definitely, they're party people here. So we've had a lot of nice, and I think it depends always on the people, but especially on like venues. There's a couple of nice venues here. It's Gqom for those people who don't know, but it's really nice outdoors in the summertime. And that really just matches the vibe and everything. Just gives up this like festival type of scenery. And yeah, it's a happening in the summer, especially. It's a happening.
Yeah,
both are happening cities itself, but we always want a bit more.
Yeah,
I guess you know how it is.
Yeah, definitely. We got to give it up to the dancers because they're a part of the Afrohouse scene that we definitely need. The dance floor, the dance floor is, without them, we just wouldn't have the dance floor, and the energy wouldn't be as great as it is when they're out there. I mean, as a DJ, when you're DJing with them, you're feeling their moves and you're trying to make them dance even more. So I get that concept and idea. So okay, so when you've now put yourselves forward as female DJs, and you're DJing in Stockholm, Stockholm, Oslo, Norway, are you finding that the other countries that are similar, your Sweden and your oh my God, what's the other one?
Denmark, no?
Denmark. My map went out of my head. And Denmark are actually feeding into the music as well. Are you getting other people in those areas contacting you?
There was one guy in Denmark. There was a few guys. Yeah, 2 guys in Denmark. Denmark is such a very, they are very, how to explain it, German house, minimalistic.
Techno.
Yeah, they're probably a bit more.
Christiania type of, like that's how I feel. I might be wrong. If there's anyone Danish out there, please, sorry.
I think there is a Danish. I think there's a Danish setup for Afrohouse out there. I think I've heard of a couple of people, but I'm not sure of the name. So I do think there is someone out there.
Afrobeats. Yeah.
So it's definitely going in that direction.
No,
but like Norway, I mean, sorry, Primas.
No, continue.
No, I just wanted to say, like in Norway in general, I feel that because you asked Primrose if how the scene is, and I would like to say that the scene in Norway, as I said earlier, it's very electronic, and I feel that their festivals, they have a lot of festivals every year, and they really, really book a lot of house DJs, just people with an Afro house. They will book even just different types of genres, like not genres, but different types of house scenes. They will book a lot of that. I think compared to Sweden, I don't feel like Sweden is very. You do have this festival. What's the festival where you met Ken Zero, DJ Kenny?
What's it called? Gangnef. Yeah, the small little like, indie festival vibes. Yeah, but sometimes with the right bookers, they'll introduce.
Norway is definitely, they were more brave. Like they would just book. I mean, I don't. Has Boraka ever been booked in Stockholm? I mean, in Sweden, I think maybe once. But like they would bring so many people. Yeah, because of their festival. So I believe that like, they are more progressive when it comes to that. But I believe like right now, maybe Stockholm, I mean Sweden and Denmark is also getting there, because I know that the Afrobeat scene has really managed to get through to Denmark as well. Yeah.
So and we ride on. Sweden really relies on trends. So obviously everything now is warmed up to, but it takes a while. Like they really have to see it grow, and then they'll be like, yeah, this is the new whatever. But like Beryl said, Norway was a bit more, brave enough, just like loving like something that isn't seen everywhere, or so I gotta give it up
to Norway for setting the trends.
For setting early on.
For getting early, okay. Let's ask this question to both of you. Your favorite Afrohouse jam to play, which one is it?
I did not hear anything this question. Jam. My God.
What's your favorite jam? You know that jam that you have to say to yourself, oh, I've got to play this in a club, or maybe the one that you play at home that you just love to hear, or you love it on the tape and turn it up? Like,
Does it
this is
have
my
to
jam.
be? I mean, it's like there's always something from like every, because you know, in South Africa, there are songs that are released every year. Like December is the bestest month in South Africa. That's when everything is popping. It's a vibe, and then you know that DJs are now prepping to release tracks like around November, like because you want to warm up people so they know your tracks in December. And
Yeah.
so there's so many songs from like so many Decembers.
Okay, let's take it down there. Okay, so let's give you the best of all time and see if I can get one out of you for all time. So from all the years of Afrohouse, you think of one track that's this is my jam.
Hello.
Okay, we have what's it called? The Prince. We have Prince KB, the Better Day song. That's just because that's mine and Beryl's. Yeah, that's just because that's mine and Beryl's like
jam.
Just vibing to that. Yeah, we were in Cape Town stayed in South Africa for a little while. That was that year's jam. So I would say that one. And then I would say what's it called again? Umbuvakazi with Dakapu.
The Capo's Umbuvakazi, yeah, the drums.
Yeah, that one. And then I think like also the Durban's Finest, everything that made back in the day, like oh my god, that's just one song. But shit, we got a lot of songs.
You got a lot of jams.
But yeah, I actually there's a song called it's a group called Trompies, and Trompies was so big, and I really believe that Amapiano that
Beryl, I'm going to stop you because we kind of didn't get to hear you there. Can you repeat what you said, please?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, just move to the left a little. Move to the left a little, try
a little bit like this.
Yeah, I think that's when it's picking you up better. Yeah.
Okay, okay. No, I was saying that I wanted to choose a song with a group called Trompies. Like Trompies is my all-time favorite, and it's Kwaito, but there is a song, and I don't know how to pronounce the name. It's like Ningivayan. It's in Zulu, but this track is, you really hear Amapiano in it. Like it's just one of those classics, and you can hear like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. Like the Amapiano today that's been produced is definitely inspired by a track like that. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna learn about it, but I really, it's such a beautiful track. It came out in the 90s. I still feel that this track is still banging.
And so you may have discovered or found the birth of Amapiano there. We might have to give you that.
Oh, definitely.
But I mean, it is, Amapiano is definitely inspired from
Afrohouse.
Afrohouse and Kwaito.
I've said this before that Afrohouse is kind of like, if you could say Afrohouse is the big brother, then Amapiano, Gqom, and everything else is kind of like underneath it, pushing through.
Yeah, everything.
Kuduro, everything else, Kwaito. I mean, even Kwaito is the big brother.
Exactly, everything sort of.
But Afrohouse is kind of for now, because if we look at it for the Afrohouse scene, as you might say, and we'll come on to this now as well. Let's talk about the Afrohouse scene and its growth and how it's affecting where you are and stuff in the world. And its growth, it's done such an exponentially growth in the last the last 5 years. We've seen such a great growth in it, with us doing things at ADE, it's doing things in America, it's gone Black Coffee doing so well globally as well. It's opening up the scene to a much larger audience, which is what we kind of need. How has that come in with your guys traveling? And I'm actually going to go Beryl Bidian. I mean, because you've got accent Team Distant producing tracks and from Botswana, I believe. Are there any other guys out there in Botswana that do that as well?
There is a few guys. There's a guy called he calls himself German Dollar. He's a big DJ here. And then there's a guy called Flex the Ninja. But Flex the Ninja, I would say that he produces both Amapiano house, and then he does also a bit of hip hop. I love what he has done with the fusion of hip hop and Amapiano, where he has rappers actually rapping on Amapiano house track. So I would say him, and then there's also DJ Kuchi. He also produces a few stuff. And what else do we have besides DJ Kuchi, German Dollar,
Team Distance?
Team Distance, yeah. But then there's also, oh my God, there's a guy, he's so amazing. Damn.
Okay.
Damn.
If you remember, bring it back up. Primrose,
Yes, no.
how about you? Where in Namibia are you finding individuals producing and delivering content of Afro House from Namibia?
To be honest, I've done like a little research, and I had like a difficulty finding them. I'm sure they're out there, but there's this guy called is it Castro or DJ Castro? DJ Castro.
Yeah, it's
DJ Castro. Yeah, yeah, it's DJ Castro. And he's released kind of like little more uppity songs because I think everyone is really on like rap, hip hop, and R&B in Namibia. But so I'm not gonna say too much, but the research I've seen, like it's definitely up and coming. Yeah. But it could definitely be bigger in my sense. I'm like, you know.
Oh yeah.
But well, yeah. But we're gonna see more of it, definitely.
Oh, definitely. We're at the infancy of Afro House, you know, even though we may have been involved in it for a longer period of time. In its global sense of the music scene, it's still a very small genre that is actually an emerging genre. But you know, if you think about it, 3 years ago is when Beatport actually acknowledged it as a genre on Beatport, so you could actually buy Afro House.
Yeah, imagine this now.
Yeah. So if that's the case there, that means that we've got a number of years still to grow, and we've got such an exponential potential from the music as well. So that's how you got to think of it. How you, when you travel, where are the places that you'd like to travel to that you haven't been yet, traveling and DJing?
Where was the question, where would we want to travel? Sorry, because it cut a bit, you know, this internet. The question was,
where would we want to travel to?
I just actually want to say that you guys are in luxury. We don't have fiber here. There's some fancy places that have fiber internet, but not the whole of Botswana. So that's why it's a bit slow.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, but we can still let's still catch on. Yeah. But where would we want to play? Where haven't we played? Oof, I would say like probably also together. There's like a lot of places in our home countries, first and foremost. But also, like the
Uganda was a place I wanted to play because of the
exactly.
Yege Festival.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was like something that we were actually, you know,
hoping to
do. But
COVID exactly put like everything on pause. But definitely that part. I would say the whole we haven't played in the Mediterranean yet. Like, we were in Croatia for the Sunset Beat Festival, 2019, just as audience members. But just those types of like summer festivals.
Yeah, I would like to. I would definitely like Mexico because I know that Mexico is really into
the music.
Yes, they are so open to Afro House because I know that they also booked Boracay there a couple of times, and also like, you know, I mean, places like Brazil, of course, that would be so nice. Very awesome because I mean, they also, I know that it's mostly very, you know, funk, but they do have space for Afro House because of the connection with Angola and all the Angolans that I believe have been there, and you know, Jeff and them have been there. They played several times there, so also a place that would be a dream.
Shouts out to all the guys doing the things down there in South America, Venezuela, Peru, Dominican Republic, Colombia, and Mexico. A shouts out. He's going to kill me for getting his name, but the Afro community. I think they call the Afro community down there. They call it a special brand. They've been developing the Afro House sound down there, and I will get them on here. Actually, interview them in the future as well, so people can sort of connect with them and see what they're doing down there.
That would be so dope, actually. Mexico.
So we kind of first met when
Canada Canada also.
And Canada, yes. Shouts out Jojo Flores. Shouts out Ian Friday. Shouts out Pacho all the guys doing big things out there in Canada as well. Of course, we're going to get to them guys as well, bringing them in as well. So when we first met DJing in ADE in Amsterdam.
In Amsterdam.
Was that your first time in ADE?
Yeah.
Okay. Explain us to how your experience was, so people who haven't been, how it was for you as your first time. Because I've been a couple of times now. I'm becoming an old dog there, and I'm like, Silk's always there. But for you guys, how was it?
I'm like,
I can see Beryl's smiles.
We're like,
Amsterdam, ADE,
ADE. No, but okay. Let me just lay it down. ADE in the sense of how it is organized, and you know, there's sort of like a little pop-up club thing going on at all times, whatever. Like, I love that concept, obviously. It's really nice. I would say, to be honest, our experience with ADE, it's a bit tough, like coming as this is the whole political aspect of it. When it comes to being like DJs and being female DJs, you can just, when you're in that environment, it's just a lot of like male dominant, energy. And it was an interesting experience for us to see beforehand. I mean, just knowing everywhere, like you're in Sweden here, it's also always going to be
also very intense. I mean, it was a bit hectic and very stressful because we all got 30 minutes each, and I felt that
it was one of those.
Well, for it being the first time playing for that, it was really, really stressful. And 30 minutes, you don't really get to warm up and get into it, and then it became a little bit hectic. It was very, very hectic, 30 minutes. So
yeah, I mean,
I definitely believe that we have had so much better shows than that. Yeah.
In that experience, definitely. But but the ADE itself, like, love the concept of it and the idea, and the networking and meeting people, met you there, like, it's all good in that sense. And shout out to Bodhisattva and boys who were with and brought us on, and like, it's all love and all good.
Yeah, shouts out Afrotoura for putting on the event. I think that we played at. It was
exactly.
And stuff like that. So so it's for those who haven't been to AD, it's definitely a kind of like it's a great place to be, to meet people that you talk to,
networking and
and networking through the internet. It's definitely there for that. DJing wise, it's great to catch sets of people that you wanted to hear and that stuff on each other, but it's very difficult because by the time you've listened to one set, you have to make the journey to another set, across the other side of town. And so you're kind of missing people. You're turning up at the end of a set to try to run to another set as a DJ. You're running here and there.
It's hectic.
It is very hectic, but it's nice. It's really nice, and you get to see some great people. I love going there to meet up with individuals. I'm always pumped, like, straight away I'll get in there. And one of the first phone calls I'll probably get is either from Afrotoura or from FNX Omar. He's always like, where are you? I'm already here. Why aren't you here yet? And I'm like, I'll be there in a bit. So it's really cool. It's a really great place for Afrohouse. It's the nucleus of Afrohouse to grow.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like
we just want to see. We just want to see more of it and more females. That's all. Like, that's just our energy right now. Just put on.
Let's expand on that. Let's expand on that, because the scene, we need to start to discuss this a bit more. The female kind of contribution that's being given and that sometimes not recognized, as you might say. We need more of that. How would you change that viewpoint or engage that more so?
I just think one thing that I really think is, for example, what you're doing right now. It's actually very simple. It's about being able to open up where you can open up, or give opportunities where you can give opportunities. If you know that you're being able to influence a booker, if you know that there are girls out there that you know that they're good, just make space for them. I
putting
just
people
think,
on your platforms.
It's sometimes maybe people, they might feel that it's very difficult. It's you make excuses, but it's very simple, just small things, the little that you can do as an artist if you're able to, like Bodhi also is a good example. I believe that Bodhi is really a guy that he connects people, and it's not even about the gender. It's actually, I actually want to connect that person because I believe in their craft. And he does that a lot, where he will scout different types of people, and he's always looking for women. He's always looking for, opportunities that he can open. And just recently, 2 weeks ago, he asked us, but Primos wasn't able. He asked us to join them for the Offering God Soul online with Jojo Flores and Manu and Rocco and Chup Chup Capella. That for me, I really appreciate it, because he could have, been someone else. It could have been Jeff. It could have been, but he thought to himself, let me book these girls. Let me ask them. Why not? And it was really a nice thing. It was such a success. We're so happy. So happy. So
definitely,
it doesn't take a lot, but definitely just opening up space. If you're a booker, if you have an established, right now it might be difficult, but pre-COVID, if you have something, try to just be more open to booking women.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. You want to add anything to that, Primrose?
No, fully agree with everything. So just more of like letting people on your platforms and seeing to it early on, because it can be a bit intimidating. And I think also to encourage other women, like, in your genre, in your community, to just jump on board. Because it can be very intimidating, especially in the beginning and especially in this industry. I feel like, so you really have to be
extremely intimidating.
Do you think
I believe that I just wanted to also add that, I think in Europe, I've experienced different things. I mean, in Norway as well, I've had like moments where I've had to really like fight for things or, try to just make them understand the importance of also booking women and not only men. But I think, like South Africa is a place where I'm seeing a lot of women now that are actually DJing. And it's so amazing because if there's one place that has been so male dominant, it's South Africa. Like the men are the producers, they're DJing, they're the ones DJing everywhere. So I'm happy to see that we're getting more and more women. Like there's a girl that I really like, Durban Hoho. Like I'm proud. It's very nice because also dealing with South African house DJs, like the men there, they're a different breed. I don't want to be mean, but they're a different breed. It's tough. It's tough.
It's tough.
It is tough. Yeah.
Okay. Well, definitely, it's something on the Drums Radio is definitely looking to do. We're going to expose and bring the spotlight more on the women that are out there doing the stuff for Afro House, and we're, definitely the platform to do that. For watch out in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure we're doing something big for that as well to spotlight women again. So if you're out there, maybe we'll invite you guys to be on the actual panel and stuff as well, because it's definitely a case that we need more of this out there, so we're definitely going to have you on and stuff on HR. Tell us some more stories about your worst flights and stuff on HR. So when you've traveled, what's the experience of your worst flight?
Say that again.
The worst airplane journey you've taken, or the worst flight situation. So you've lost your baggage or something like that. What happened?
Oh God. I remember that I lost my hard drive. Like someone stole my hard drive, and I was on my way to a gig. I just panicked. It was me like that.
I think always those last minutes.
Yeah, I think that's the DJ's worst nightmare, to lose your MacBook or lose your hard drive with all
USB or lose your anything that's stressful.
Every DJ.
Everything that can involve technical difficulties or whatever, and just stress.
I don't know, but I still think I could take a blackout. I experienced that in Nigeria when I was playing in Nigeria. The blackouts continue to work to a set. That was new.
How did
full crowd going, pumping, and then oh, okay. Basically, you just have to wait. You've got nothing. There's nothing else you can do.
Yeah.
But we call it a load shedding. That's what we call it. Yeah, like you literally just be out clubbing. Because I remember even last year, I was I was in a village called Kanye, and we were just dancing, and there was a guy playing the bass to the house music, and we were jiving, and then suddenly the electricity just shut down, and we were like, no, damn. But then you know what? Africans, we love to party. Like they literally they're like, listen, we got cars, right? Let's just play from the cars. The party's not gonna die. We just moved everything out, and we were like, damn. The DJ was like, hey, next time, girls, next time I'll finish my set.
Yeah.
Wild. You gotta be prepared for anything. But we've had migraines, like stuff, just inconvenient stuff that happens. But yeah, you just roll with it.
Okay, can I need to say something. Primos is she's I would say almost perfect. Okay, nothing ever goes wrong for Primos. Nothing. She always has her shit
together. Just a planner. That's why I was quiet in the stories. I was like,
if someone would steal her computer, she would be like, but you know what? I made sure 3 months ago to buy extra space on a cloud where I copied everything from my computer. And then there's a folder there that I have everything. She always has everything organized. I am that type of person that could definitely, you know, people have stolen my stuff, even my headphones. I also, here in Botswana, I had a gig out on a farm, actually. It was like a farm festival. And someone stole my controller. I was like, no, like, that's what I'm going to use. What am I going to And people are like, welcome to Africa, babes. You know, you just work it out.
But it always works out.
But it always works out, which is good. And you've been built guys. We've got a question that came in from a gentleman called Mongolian Dude. He said he would love to find out more about female South African DJs to watch or to get involved in. If Primrose and Badine could share. You mentioned somebody else. Was it double?
It is. It's pronounced Durban Ho, just like the city, but it is spelled DBN, and it is Ho, like go. She is so talented. She just actually worked on a track with 2 other people, and it's called French Kiss. It is amazing. That is an amazing track. I would say that she's definitely one to look out for. And then we have DJ Dua. Is that her name, Primas?
DJ Dua. Yeah. She's been in the scene for a while.
She recently released a track with this amazing artist called Coexister. Like, it's so amazing. It's so spacey. It's like Amapiano housey. So DJ Dua, Durban Ho. And what else do we have?
Who else do we have that?
I would say.
Do you guys know anybody in Europe that's in the Afrohouse scene, female-wise?
Do we know anybody besides us? I was like, wait a minute.
Besides Jozi Nights, let's say. Okay.
I know that, but Karen is based in the UK. She would. She would throw in some of that Afro house. You probably most definitely.
Karen?
Yeah, Karen.
Yeah, Karen, and it's something. And
he actually, wow, she, I believe that she even produced a track with a guy called Hagen. Hagen. Oh my God, Hagen. Shout out Hagen.
I don't know who Karen is. I'd like to know. I'd like to know who Karen is.
We'll find her. We'll find her.
Who was a better internet than me? You can look for her name, because when I start searching people, the connection here starts breaking.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, Karen is really dope. She has definitely. I discovered her when I just randomly Googled. I believe it was this hashtag Afrohouse, and then she popped up, and she was on. Oh my God, what's that? Oh my God, the Gqom. Okay, Primus, just find it. It's Karen. She is based in.
It's Karen Nyamek G.
She released the EP last year.
Okay.
Very spacey, so I recommend her.
Based in England, it's just, I don't know. Please connect us, or send me the links. I'm going to connect with her, make sure.
Yes.
I mean, in South Africa, Mongolian DJ, you've got people like I just interviewed DJ Miss Williams from last week. You've got Judy J SA, who's just a new DJ that's been doing tremendous things down in SA at the moment as well.
Yes, because I think I saw Judy SA. Yeah, I saw her. She's very beautiful.
And she's she's actually just joined the station as well. She's doing mixes, and she's got her own radio show on Drums Radio as well. So check her out. Females in South Africa, there's so many. There is a lot.
There are. Yeah. You can make like a little intro list. So that's also fun. It's fun to see, exciting to see.
Maybe once again we'll do something, and we'll do like a day of just female DJs or something. I'll get the Dams, the radio manager for Drums Radio, to work on something, and we'll see if we can't do something.
Yeah, that would be so nice.
We need to connect and just broaden that community worldwide.
Yeah, definitely.
So dope.
Okay, so we've got like final 7 to 10 minutes of the interview, which I thought would be like less. But okay, let's do some things. What I want to ask. I want to ask you so many questions, so many things. Okay, your family experiences. How has your family taken you when you said you want to be DJs and all stuff? Because most families, even like mine, is doctor, lawyer. Yeah, what are you doing? Why are you here? Go to a doctor, lawyer. You're intelligent enough. You should be over there. And so how have you experienced that?
You want to go first?
Yeah, let's go
first. Yeah. So growing up, with how an African mom can be, or the stereotype, like you said, there's always this you have to fall back on this, or you're in Europe, you can do this, you can go study this and that. But I think my mom has been pretty open. She wanted me to rely on something, at least have something to fall back on or whatever. But she's been very open. I think she's also excited. Every time I tell her something or stories about music, she's been very supportive and very encouraging, definitely. So she's always been like, go with it, and yeah, just do what's fun, like, yeah.
Okay.
So
and
definitely. So it's all been love.
And Bidan?
My mom, I think in the beginning, she was a bit like, wow, are you sure about this? And she came to see me a couple of times. And every time she would come to my gigs, she would just end up dancing, putting bottles on her head. And she was like, okay, I understand why you want to do it. But she was very adamant about, I want you to also kind of like, maybe figure something out. Is there anything that you want to study? And I told her, yeah. So I decided to start taking a course in sound engineering. So that also made her it made her happy. She was very happy because then she understood that, I really wanted to do it and that I'm very passionate about it. And then I just told her, mommy, this will also open up doors for me to be able to work as an engineer would be, it would really, really help me because
so you just didn't put musical engineer before that.
Sorry? That was what?
You just didn't put musical before. You said engineer. You didn't say musical engineer.
Did I say musical engineer? I mean sound engineering. Sorry. Sound
engineer. Yeah.
Should I say musical? What am I doing? Musical, guys. It's very difficult. I speak so many languages, so I sometimes, my English I'll mix some things and excuse me.
Fine. I'm jealous that you speak so many languages. I only have the one English.
It's so painful.
I personally wouldn't call it painful,
No, I'm
a luxury.
It's a luxury, yeah. All right, so last question before we kind of close up and stuff in nature. To both of you, now I'll ask you each to answer this individually. You're about to open up. You've got one chance to open up for someone, anybody in the world. You're going to DJ and have the opening set. Who are you opening up for? I'm going to remove someone. I'm going to remove Black Coffee because everyone tries to put that as their first person.
You don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. Wait. Are we talking about anybody? We're always saying now, like, obviously the Afrohouse.
I'm going to say Afrohouse and anybody. Okay. So we'll get the two. So one person, anybody, and one person Afrohouse. See, Beryl's in problems already.
This is so okay.
Okay, let's go Primrose first, and then we go to Beryl.
No.
Okay, you want to go
kidding.
first?
Oh my god, but this is just difficult. But I think now I'm talking in the light of like I would see me and Beryl, but that would be like us opening up for like DJ Marisa and Come to the Small. And that was Amapiano. That's just today, but that's like probably mine and Beryl's like mutual answer. Like today, that's just because of the Amapiano, whatever.
The vibe.
When it comes to Afrohouse, probably like just the Prince KBs, the DJ like the couples, like just the DJs we feel like the energy matches ours, and and if we're gonna talk about anyone out there in the world, I have to think about that. Okay,
I would like to say that 100%. I would really like to open up for Kabza De Smalls and DJ Maporisa. Like I just feel like they just take me back to those days with my uncle, like when I was a kid. Like their music, like they understand my childhood. We understand each other. We understand December. We understand the life here. It's amazing. They are 100% two people that so relaxed.
Yeah, when you watch their lockdown mixes that they do on YouTube, like you'll just catch the vibe of like this is the chill, no pretentious, nothing, and we like that vibe, definitely.
It's sexy, it flows, and what I love about them is that they're actually just being themselves, because people didn't really believe in Amapiano. Like I swear there was a point where people are like, no, but this is just gonna be a passing thing. Like you have Gqom. I remember when we played Gaba Canal, I was like, this is gonna stick around because this really like works for all types of people. It doesn't matter if you're Brazilian, if you're English, if you are Amapiano, you put those people around the table, they'll all end up dancing on that table. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, definitely.
We love that.
many people just think it's just come about. It's been going on for at least 8 to 10 years now.
Yeah,
10
exactly.
years. So it's
so
been out
old.
there.
It's so old. You
Out
can
there.
actually hear a very old mix that me and Primos did on SoundCloud. I mean, guys, we're really gonna update this, and you know,
Yeah, we're gonna
yeah. But on that old mix, actually, the first tracks are it's Gaba Canal. There's I think Kabza de Smalls. This was when 2017,
17.
Yeah. No,
So
I
just those
believed
early
it
sounds.
since day one.
Yeah, they was definitely pushing then. So okay, guys, I'm gonna say thank you very much for joining me today. It's been an experience, lovely experience. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Mr. Silk.
Please, before we kind of close everything up, tell people where they can find you and how they can follow you individually, and then and the last person. If I go with Beryl first, just tell people where they can find you, how they can follow you online, and then onto Primrose.
Yes, you can follow me. My private Instagram is bdiane, as it's spelled there, but please feel free to follow our Jozi Nights Instagram that we're gonna update, and there you will also be able to find links if you want to check out my latest set that I did for Jojo Flores and Bodhisattva. Was it Offerings record on God? Yeah, okay. The link is in my bio, so you can actually check out my set there on the 3rd hour. And yes, Primrose.
Yeah, so that's ours. So Jozi Nights. I've deactivated my private one for now, so I'm just chilling, but I'm getting back there as well. It's been like a little chill winter, but we're getting on the Jozi Nights now, and then just find us there as well. Like my handle has always been Primrose something HB or whatever it is. So but be sure to Jozi Nights. That's a little concept together, and then we have our different sort of solo vibes as well whenever, because obviously we're not together at the moment, but soon we'll be reunited as well.
We're definitely gonna do more digital stuff, and we're gonna do so. I just actually want to get the name right. You check out the link in my bio. It will take you to a YouTube link for the Offering God Soul Online Weekender. It was a festival that had many other awesome ass Afrohouse DJs. Please feel free to tune in and check them out, and you will find me there on the 3rd hour and 15 minutes.
Cool. And they've got another one coming up, Drums Radio. Check out for the information. I know Drums Radio is pushing the Got Soul Offering the Weekender that's coming up as well, and push the first one as well. So once again, Drums Radio doing that thing and making sure that we're involved in pushing the Afro House vibe, which is what we're doing, and then what we're trying to do here at building the
for the love of Afro House.
For the love of Afro House. I like that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Silk. We really appreciate this opportunity to come on and talk about everything. And
sure. Thank you very much. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. We're trying to spread the Afro House. Make sure you spread it among your friends. Tell them about Jozi Nights. You will want to know more about them as they grow. I'm expecting so much from them in the future as well. Thank you, girls, for joining me. Pleasure, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bless you, beautiful.
Have a blessed day. Thank you.
Right. I've been Mr. Silk. Follow me. I am Mr. Silk. We'll see you guys soon. Next video very soon. Check it out. Thank you, guys.